Hey everybody, Sarah here, and today I'm going to show you how to construct a simple 20-step six-fold star rosette pattern. I'm working in GeoGebra Classic 5, but any version of GeoGebra, including the web browser-based version, will work. I'll link in the video description how to set up your default settings, and let's get started. So we want a new GeoGebra file, and we're going to use our input bar a lot, so make sure you view your input bar. And I'm going to start by typing a equals open parentheses 0 comma 0, so that gives me the point a at 0 0, and I want my new points to show their labels. And I want point B at 1 comma 0. Let me zoom in on these guys. Then I want to grab my regular polygon tool, and I'm going to put in polygon AB on side AB with 6 vertices. So that gives me a regular hexagon. And I'm going to make the opacity of this hexagon 0 by going into my color settings. Then I want to grab my perpendicular bisector tool, and I want to put perpendicular bisectors on AB and AC. And then I'm going to grab my intersect tool and find the intersection of those two lines and this intersection of that vertical line with AB. And then I'm going to put in circle centered at B through point H. I'm going to grab my intersect tool again and put in this point I on that circle. If you select the circle and then the line, you're going to get 2 points, but we don't need this intersection over here, so it's best just to select, wait until your cursor forms the hand and select the point at that intersection. So then what we're going to do is we're going to put in our first pattern line. So I'm going to select my parallel line tool, and I want to put in a line that goes through point I that's parallel to line GH. And because that's a pattern line, I'm going to make it a different color and a little bit thicker. Next, I'm going to put in line BF, and this is technically the bisector of angle ABG. So I'm going to make it a dashed line. I like to make my angle bisectors dashed lines. And then I'm going to put in this intersection point J here. Then I'm going to grab my reflect about line tool, and I'm going to reflect this blue line IJ over line BG by selecting first the blue line, then line BG. Then I'm going to grab my intersect tool, and I'm going to find this point K right here. Then using my reflect about line tool, let me zoom in here. I want to reflect point J over line GH, and I want to reflect point I over line GH. And then I'm going to grab my polygon tool, not regular polygon, just polygon. And I'm going to put in polygon H, J, I, K, I prime, J prime, H. Then I'm going to do a little bit of code to generate a sequence of rotations of this polygon about point G. So I'm going to type sequence, open parentheses, open curly, no, not curly brackets yet, sequence, open parentheses, rotate, open parentheses, open curly brackets, and that's poly 2. So that's the name of the hexagon. Close those curly brackets. And I want to rotate poly 2 by pi times I over 3. So that's the same as 60 degrees. By pi I over 3 about point G, close parentheses, comma I, comma 0, comma 5. So I is my index variable here, and this is just saying I'm going to iterate I from 0 to 5. So I'm going to rotate no pi over 3 radians, then 1 pi over 3 radians, all the way up to 5 pi over 3 radians about point G. And then I'm going to hit enter. And I will put that code in the video description. Then I'm going to reflect this sequence M1 over line DE. And this new sequence is M1 prime. And I'm going to create a sequence of rotations of M1 prime about G using almost the exact same code. So sequence rotate M1 prime by pi I over 3 about G, where I varies from 0 to 5, close parentheses and enter. And then I'm going to hide my M1 prime. I'm going to hide poly 2, hide the circle, hide the lines, hide the points, hide poly 1, and then maybe I want to make these super thick and give them a little bit more of color. And there we have it. Let me know in the comments how it goes and if you're successful. Thanks so much.